What's the deal, motherfuckers? It's your boy Mike D with another video coming at you straight out of Poverty Radio. And of course, you see the picture on the screen. Everybody know what everybody talking about right now. If you like sports, especially if you love black quarterbacks, being a black man myself, Deshaun Watson, man, and the Texans. Now, Deshaun Watson has 13 to 12 to up to 22 women coming out saying he likes to offer a happy ending after he gets massages. So he's a serial happy ending seeker, supposedly, allegedly. They're saying that he asks for happy endings, and this is supposed to be some kind of sexual assault allegations from what started out to be a few women, which is now upwards to 22 women. One woman who now has been exposed, maybe have been a liar, maybe been blackmailing him. But isn't it coincidence, or is it a coincidence that when Deshaun Watson asked to be traded, he says, "I'm not playing for the Houston Texans anymore," and now this story comes to the forefront of public opinion? Similar to last season when Antonio Brown cussed out Mike Mayock, called him a cracker, wanted out of the Raiders, did the video, "I'm free, I'm free, I'm free." He did all that. Next thing you know, what happened? Sexual assault allegations in civil court came to the forefront. They was already lurking, but for some reason it was brought out into the forefront right after that. That's not a coincidence, man. These teams have CIA, FBI, ex-FBI, ex-CIA on their payroll. Players, you're being followed. You're being watched. You're being followed. Your calls may be monitored. Your family members, close family members could be monitored. They are watching you probably since they drafted you. They have a dossier, a file on your ass. They know what you like. They know what you want to do. They know if you like your ass licked, if you like your dick sucked. They know if you like to suck dick. These teams know. Too much money being invested in here, and that's how white people is. They very nosy. They want to know, is that smile you giving them real? You know, are you really the nice guy that you pretending like you? They've been burned by a lot of guys. So, obviously, this is a setup. This is Deshaun Watson being exposed or set up in some way. Whether or not he engaged in some kind of mischievous behavior, he might have, but it's being exposed because he wants to be traded. Let's let Jen set this thing up.
And the news just continues because right now 6 more lawsuits have been filed against Deshaun Watson, including one citing an incident with a massage therapist from earlier this month. The Texans quarterback has maintained his innocence, saying on Twitter that he rejected a, quote, baseless 6-figure settlement demand, and that this incident is, quote, about clearing my name, and I look forward to doing that. But now some are speculating the league could place Watson on the commissioner's exempt list while they finish their own investigation.
Which is exactly what the Texans want, which shows even more that this is the inside job. The Texans want him to be put on the exempt list. Oh, you don't want to play for us? Or you won't play for nobody? That's how these white people think, man. They think they own you. Well, they do kind of own you because you signed a contract. So technically they do own you. But this is how the mind of the white man or white supremacy works. They want to own humans. They want to own every piece of the earth. They want to own the ocean, the forest. They want to own everything. This is the mind, the sick mind of white supremacy, man. They want to dominate and own people. If that man don't want to play for your team, cut him loose. These teams try to make people stay. I'm going to make you there. I'm going to make you stay. What kind of shit is that? This is business. I want out. Let's get proper compensation. Let's work together so we can both get what we want. Y'all get to move on with a new future, and I get to go somewhere else. This ownership mentality, what the owner said before, the dead owner, the father of these people who doing this now. You can't let the inmates run the prison. These people think they own you, man. They look at us. They look at black people, black males, as cattle, work, like mules. You just tools, niggas. Wake up. Get your money, man, and help your people. These white folks don't love you, bruh. Care how much money they give you, nigga.
Investigation. So, Shannon, should the league do that now?
Yes, Skip, that's a very useful tool. I don't really know how it works in the offseason, Skip. We saw him do this with Adrian Peterson when he was going through his situation. Yeah. We saw him do it with Ray Rice until they gather more information. Yeah. Skip, this is...
Yes, precedent has been set that this is how you punish a player with no evidence, no conviction, no nothing. And the Texans say, oh, we can use this. We get him on the commissioner list. He won't even get to play at all. He don't want to play for us. He won't even if we trade him, he won't be able to play with these charges on him. And he won't get to keep that money because he had to pay all this money for lawyers and all. I'm talking about this is psychological operation. This is like art of war type shit. These people is playing the 48 laws of power on his ass. Man, players better wake up, man. If y'all don't come together and really stick together on some real shit, not that fake ass union shit. Man, these owners, man, they tired of all this player empowerment. Y'all talking like y'all can do what y'all want to do. Man, these owners coming for that.
Is not looking good. And if this was a storm, this would be an F4 tornado. This would be a Category 5 hurricane. Because what we have is we have 13 women already alleged inappropriate contact between them and Deshaun, with another 9 on the horizon. The lawsuits have been filed. Right. Yeah. So there's 13 plus another 9 that's reportedly that's going to be filed. That's 22 different women. This does not look good. Not only does it not look good for Deshaun Watson, it doesn't look good for the NFL. So basically what they should do is just say, look, we're going to take a step back. We're going to say, Deshaun, not that he was going to have contact with the Houston Texans, because from what I've told, he's broken off all communication. Okay. So that's not an issue.
As he should break off all communication. What the fuck I'm talking to y'all for? Y'all ain't got nothing but game. Y'all talk to my agent, man. We ain't on that. Look, I want out. It ain't no changing no mind. I don't care how many nigga coaches you hire. Hire all black staff, bitch, and I still ain't coming.
Until we get a better understanding of what's going on, we're gonna ask you to step back, have no further contact. You're not allowed to be around the team.
Man, Shannon Sharp with these outfits. Shannon Sharp, man, come on, bro. This nigga is taking old couches from the 70s from vintage furniture stores and like look. I got this couch at the house in the garage. I want you to take that material and make a jacket out of it. You know what I'm saying? This shit gonna be fly, motherfucker.
On the team. The only question I have, Skip, what about trades? Does this prohibit a trade?
Does that jacket prohibit any kind of activities once you walk out of that goddamn facility? God damn, that shit hideous. What is this nigga got a plaid, purple, red, looking like a big ass, looking like a silverback in the suit.
No, it can't.
Right, so, but Skip, this doesn't look good. This doesn't look good for Deshaun. It looks bad for the NFL, and I think they want to get a handle on this to try to find out what's real.
It looks bad for the NFL. Man, please. The NFL has been around 100 years, and they done had way worse cases on them than this. So you can say it look bad for the NFL or not. The NFL is a monstrous machine that ain't gonna stop going. This motherfucker is going into perpetuity. The only people who can stop this, not even the black players, because even if it was all white league, people are still watching because the fans are so into the team of it, the red and the blue of it. You know, the my team against your team of it, my city versus your city of it. I don't think it really matter who. And XFL proved that people loved it. It doesn't matter who behind the jersey. Over time, they can still do it. You know, and the NFL it's not as dynamic as it once was either, as far as what you see on the field.
Really going on, but I don't know if they're going to be able to deduce what's going on by just these lawsuits being filed. Somebody's going to have to go to court. Somebody's going to have their day in court. And we're going to have witnesses called. And Deshaun's going to probably have to testify in his own defense. And these women are seemingly more than willing to testify. Skip, and you try to do this fair because the women deserve.
Yeah, if I got a chance at a couple million, yeah, I'm willing to testify. I don't know what the girl got from Jameis Winston. She got like 10 million or something. I don't know what she got, but of course, the girl from Kobe, she got millions. It was lying. Still got millions in the silver case. Of course, you're going to be willing to testify, willing to do whatever. This motherfuckers out here right now doing illegal shit for less than for 20,000. The fuck wrong with y'all? Hell yeah, I'm gonna go. Oh, he raped me. It probably men to come forward if they thought they could get it.
Because the women deserve to have their allegations taken seriously. They deserve to be heard. But in fairness to Deshaun, an allegation is not an admission of guilt. So you try to be as fair as you possibly can. Try to understand both sides. But let me tell you something, people. These women that are coming forward, and Deshaun Watson will never ever be the same. Deshaun Watson will never ever be looked at the same. The women, if this is true, They feel violated and their lives won't be the same. If this is proven to be untrue, they're going to say, you are the woman that tried to bring Deshaun Watson down because of guilt, because of greed. And so, Skip, people's lives have forever changed, but the NFL, Skip, I believe if they were to step in and say, Deshaun, we're going to put you on the commissioner's exempt list. We want you to step back, but because we want to do our own investigation. We want to try to get to the bottom of this to try to get some clarity. But guess what, Skip? Even if they suspend, because at the bare minimum, I think in Article 46, it says a minimum of 6 games. Mitigating circumstances could drive that up or drive that down.
Yep.
For a chance to have Deshaun Watson for 5 years, if he suspended 10 games, he suspended a year. I get Deshaun Watson for 5 years.
Yeah, that's what the team want to try to punish him for wanting to be out. See, that's why these charges aren't criminal, because the team is behind it. They don't want to dirty up their asset. They don't want to trash their asset. He's still an asset. You don't want to ruin his career where you can't even trade him and get anything for him. So you want to get a king's ransom for him, but you also want to dirty him up on the way out. They did the Eagles did Deshaun Jackson like that when reports surfaced right after they released him the first time of some dealings and bad company he was keeping. They tried to put out some reports about his gang affiliations, quote unquote. So these teams are very, very conniving and evil almost when it comes to making these players capitulate or go along with the program. Players are getting, player empowerment is a big thing because of LeBron James, and guys want to say, hey, I want out, like what James Harden did. You think these people just gonna sit back and allow that to go down? Nah, these people are going to protect their investments. They're going to take ownership of their property.
A team's going to take that.
I hear you. Before I launch on this, allow me to step back for a moment and say, as I've said from the start, I have not enjoyed talking about this story.
No.
I was the biggest Deshaun Watson fan purely as a quarterback on the football field. But obviously this is becoming a more and more important story that we need to talk about.
Right.
Because it's a longer and longer line of women who say that Deshaun sexually violated them.
Or displayed inappropriate behavior.
Yes. And this is becoming as stunning a story as I can ever remember in my career.
Yeah.
Because as far as I knew, as far as you knew, Deshaun had a spotless reputation. But
that don't mean nothing, man. A lot of people have spotless reputations and got put rape charges. You can go all the way back to Emmett Till. If you go all the way back to Emmett Till was a child basically, and some white woman said he raped her, and that kicked off the civil rights movement. There's been a lot of cases where black men have been pitted or shown as sexual aggressors for an end, whether that end be murder, lynching, financial raping, or lynching, whatever the motives is. It's been a long line of that. Mike Tyson, who else? Just so many of them. And it's been some that have done it, like the Darren Sharpers of the world, who really did it. The Dana Stubblefields, who obviously, seems to have done it. He was convicted of it. So I'm not saying Deshaun can't be guilty, but the way it's always portrayed and the way it came out, the timing of it, and it's always a black man. And when Ben Roethlisberger went through his thing, the reporting of it, the framing of it was a lot different. Go back and look at some of those reports and look how it was reported. It was a different time, okay, but it was framed a lot different. Even some of the more recent Me Too cases by white men were framed.
You said yesterday, so appropriately,
differently.
Maybe there's a Deshaun we knew and another we thought we knew but don't.
Correct.
Off the field.
Right.
And I hark back to the quote from the superstar attorney that Deshaun hired just as the first lawsuit broke, named Rusty Hardin, who's represented so many star athletes, from Roger Clemens to Adrian Peterson, you name it.
Rudy Top Johnson, Kevin Johnson. Yeah. And big corporations.
Yes, big corporations. In his first quote, this was after only one lawsuit had been filed, "I'm real comfortable with the kind of person that Deshaun Watson is. He has a great reputation here in Houston, and the allegations are really inconsistent with the kind of person he is." Mm-hmm. Or the kind of person we thought he was.
You know, they want to frame and try to say you didn't know Deshaun Watson. Look at Shannon. Shannon looking down. Skip looking down. It's almost like they were told to go out there. You can't defend him. You can't defend him. They, Fox, look, you can't defend him, man. We don't want the women on us. It's just both look. Look how they looking. But the main thing I want to get across here is the public lynching of black males. Black men, we have to come together, man, and stick together. Whether you rich, you poor, you middle class, hustling, whatever, reform. We got to come together and start networking, because it's everybody against the black man. And then people want to say, don't make this about race. It's always about race. This is fucking America. This is the fucking world we live in. It's always about motherfucking race. And Deshaun Watson, a black quarterback, axed out in the slave-minded NFL, because the NFL is not the NBA. And the NBA is a little bit more liberal. They hide their racism better. NFL a little more overt, a little more plantation style. Look, we own you. You are our property. You're going to play for us. This is what they were saying to Deshaun Watson. I always wonder why team want to force somebody to play for them. If somebody not happy, just make a deal, get them out of there. Because why would you have a player that don't want to be there? They just had a ball bounce. You're going to try to make him be there? That's even more Massa style.
So I hark back. The Tiger Woods scandal. It was about rampant cheating on his wife. Mm-hmm. But obviously the sex was all consensual sex.
Correct.
And then I think of the two Ben Roethlisberger incidents for which he got suspended. I think of the one Kobe incident in question. We all know what happened there. Mm-hmm. I think of Ezekiel Elliott back in 2017. Mm-hmm. His girlfriend at Ohio State accused him of domestic violence.
Right.
A white girl, mind you. Zeke, I think Zeke was with a white girl.
2 police departments had investigated and found no cause to charge him.
Right.
The NFL investigated, and their lead investigator decided that her testimony was inconsistent. Mm-hmm. And
Kia Roberts, I think, is her name.
Yeah, and she lost her job.
Yes.
Because she...
But yeah, fellas, man, Deshaun Watson in a little trouble. Is it white supremacy? Is my question. Is Deshaun Watson a victim of white supremacy? Is he a rapist or a victim of white supremacy? Is the question here, and I believe he's a victim of white supremacists and the white supremacist system. Because white people own the NFL. It's a white man's league. They own it. There's no black owners. There's barely any black GMs, but there's a majority of black players, the black labor. It's like Walmart. You go into Walmart owned by white people, but when you walk through Walmart, there's a whole bunch of black people in there, boy. Shit like a plantation of blue smocks. So your property, players, and if you sign a contract, you signed over your human rights to a corporation. And I'm quite sure that's been explained to Deshaun Watson, but he wanted to take the money. So when you take these people money, these people take that very, 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 very seriously. They kill. Look at Kobe. Kobe gone. Kobe was into some shit with them corporations, man. Them corporations kill. So you have to be careful with these people, man. Just because they wear suits and they nerds don't mean shit. Look at Bill Gates. He out here on some bullshit. So, hey, man, we got to wake up out here, man. Yeah, it goes back all the way to Emmett Till, to Mike Tyson, to Tupac. So many brothers have been accused of rape, and a lot of times, even brothers being released recently, been accused of rape, and they didn't do it. Did 25 and 30 years, and they found out through DNA that they didn't do it. Brothers being released like every other month. It's a brother being released. It's a lawsuit being paid by the state for locking somebody up 20 and 30 years falsely. This is America, man. Black men, you got to make a decision, because God is coming on day number 7, and they won't call me a nigga when I get to heaven. Straight out of Poverty Radio, Mike D. Peace.
Overnight against NFL star Antonio Brown, accused of sexually assaulting a woman who worked as his trainer, all part of a new lawsuit. Paula Ferris is here with those details for us. Good morning, Paula.
Good morning, Robin. Good morning, everyone. These are serious allegations. The two first met in college, where they were in a Bible study together. Years later, she started working with him as his trainer. She is saying that he preyed on her kindness and her religious devotion.
Fires over the middle, caught, Brown.
In a newly filed civil lawsuit, superstar wide receiver Antonio Brown is accused of sexually assaulting his former fitness trainer. The allegations breaking just days after the 31-year-old ignited a firestorm by demanding his release from the Oakland Raiders and then signing with the New England Patriots for $15 million just days later. Brown's accuser identifying herself as 28-year-old Brittany Taylor, a former LSU gymnast who began working with Brown in 2017. According to the lawsuit, she says he exploited and sexually assaulted her after she claims he used manipulation and false promises to lure her into his world. In the lawsuit, Taylor accuses Brown of assaulting her on at least 3 separate occasions. And after one alleged incident, she claims the wide receiver bragged about the incident through astonishingly profane and angry text messages.
The fact that she's using her...
Charlie Steiner. Even though there was a change of champions this year in boxing, the biggest story by far did not take place in the ring. It took place in a courthouse in downtown Indianapolis, where the former heavyweight champion Mike Tyson lost the biggest fight of his life to a 108-pound opponent. The satellite trucks beamed the news. Ticket scalpers were very much in evidence, and Don King was there for Mike Tyson's most important fight. Not in the ring, but in Judge Patricia Gifford's courtroom in downtown Indianapolis. Following the Clarence Thomas hearings in the William Kennedy Smith trial, the Tyson case would be pivotal in the way we view date rape and sexual relations in this country. Tyson's daily arrivals and departures became a staple of the nightly network news shows. There were no cameras allowed inside the courtroom, so artist drawings and good old-fashioned journalism would tell the story chapter by daily chapter.
The playing field may be even for basketball star Derrick Rose after being accused of gang rape. Unfortunately, it is often that athletes and entertainers are accused of things like rape because of their social status and financial comfortability. And equally unfortunate for the victim, who may not have the finances to lawyer up in hopes of gaining justice. Now, this may or may not be the case for Derrick Rose's situation, as he continues to pledge his innocence, even adding that his accuser is well known amongst the athletes and has been castigated for slut-shaming his accuser. The alleged victim initially filed her lawsuit under the name Jane Doe in an effort to save face, stay anonymous, and protect her privacy. Now, Rose's lawyers were not here for it at all, and they filed a set of their own documents requesting that her identity be released. Ooh, this is getting a little messy. Their argument that Jane Doe has abused the privilege by going on a nationwide pre-trial media blitz, including phone interviews and a news conference. The judge ended up siding with Rose's legal team, determining that she must disclose her real name when the case goes to trial. Now,
recently arrested in Atlanta following the shooting of 2 off-duty policemen, was arrested and jailed in New York City early Friday morning and charged, along with 3 friends, with forcible sodomy and unlawful imprisonment of a young woman at the upscale Parker Meridian Hotel. Shakur, who was about the only good thing critics could find in the recent Janet Jackson film Poetic Justice, was in New York working on a new basketball movie called Above the Rim. According to police, the rapper met a woman on Thursday night and took her back to his hotel room. There, police charge he allegedly called in 3 friends who tied the woman up and then assaulted her sexually. As we went to press on Friday afternoon, Shakur and 2 of his friends were still awaiting arraignment on the charges. The 4th alleged participant, who fled the scene, was still being sought. Shakur is due back in an Atlanta court on December 1st to face aggravated assault charges in connection with the recent cop shooting.
People come forward saying rapper Clifford T.I. Harris and his wife Tiny sexually assaulted them.
The Daily Beast says the newest set of accusers join others who say the Atlanta-based couple drugged them and then took advantage of them. CBS 46's Brittany Empey live in Atlanta with the very latest. Brittany.
And Rick, we just recently spoke to that attorney's team, specifically getting not only confirmation but brand new details from attorney Tyrone Blackburn, the man who represents multiple accusers against the hip-hop couple. I can tell you that he says 6 more potential victims have come forward. This after Blackburn went public and asked authorities in 2 states to start a criminal investigation into the couple. And here's what we just learned about those individuals. Blackburn's team tells me that out of the 6, 5 are women and there's 1 man, and they all were in states either Georgia, California, or Washington State, happening between dates in 2008 to 2015. So far, though, Blackburn's team says that he has taken on 1 woman as a new client because he says he was able to collaborate her story, bringing the attorney's client total now to 9 women who allege that they were either assaulted by rapper T.I., his wife Tiny, or a member of their inner circle. Also adding that those women claimed they were drugged and raped, and incidents that go back as far as 2005, with many taking place here in Metro Atlanta. He also represents another 3 accusers who allege the celebrities made, quote, terroristic threats against them. Now, I did reach out to the attorney for the Harrises who sent us this statement. It is on your screen. You can take a look. It says, quote, the Harrises continue to deny in the strongest possible terms these groundless and unjustified allegations. When Blackburn finally exposes his anonymous accusers to the light of day by revealing their names, we will be in a position to confront their allegations. Hiding their identities makes it impossible for me to do so now. We fully expect, if the claims are thoroughly and fairly investigated, no charges will be brought. Now, we just received that statement of
Deshaun Watson facing allegations of sexual misconduct and harassment. It involves Watson's alleged behavior with a number of massage therapists. ABC's Rena Roy joins us now with more from outside NFL headquarters here in New York. Rena, good morning.
Wick, good morning. 7 civil lawsuits have officially been filed, and the lawyer representing these women says there could soon be more on the way. This morning, NFL superstar Deshaun Watson is under fire, with 7 women accusing him of sexual misconduct, with another 5 lawsuits expected to be filed, according to an attorney representing the women. The 25-year-old Houston Texans quarterback facing accusations that he assaulted and harassed the women during massages.
You have a star quarterback who is physically and financially powerful versus single moms who work for themselves, mostly from home.
Attorney Tony Busby says he's officially representing 12 accusers claiming similar inappropriate behavior. According to lawsuits, most say they were one-time encounters, but one woman alleges she was sexually assaulted by Watson on multiple occasions. The accuser's lawyer saying Watson met these women on social media and was even referred to one by a Texans trainer.
These are cases that allege that Watson conducted himself inappropriately during massages, that he touched women in a sexual way.
Watson recently signed a 4-year contract extension with the Texans for $156 million. Responding to the allegations, the quarterback tweeted, "I have never treated any woman with anything other than the utmost respect." The plaintiff's lawyer claims that this isn't about money, but before filing suit, he made a baseless 6-figure settlement demand, which I quickly rejected. Unlike him, this isn't about money for me. It's about clearing my name, and I look forward to doing that. Busby denying money is the motivator.
This case is about female empowerment.
The